So is growing on Instagram even still possible? Question mark. I mean, with all the changes that Instagram has made in the last 6 months alone, I must admit I have kind of thought of it myself. And so what I'd like to do is give an updated video on what to do to grow your Instagram in 2022 and beyond. Let's talk about some new tips and tricks and just understanding how this crazy powerful but often misunderstood platform is working today. If you ask me, Instagram is in kind of an identity crisis right now. They're stuck between losing a lot of attention share to TikTok, their biggest competitor at this moment, and a love affair that I have myself. TikTok is incredible. But Instagram is also, while they're trying to maintain market share, they're also trying to shift into almost like an e-commerce platform. So again, if you ask me, total identity crisis going on. They're doing a lot of crazy updates to the app and changing the way that it fundamentally works and looks. And so it's a lot to keep up with. Now, you might already know that Instagram is moving towards primarily video-based content. We talk about how to make better video on this channel. Check those videos out if you haven't seen them. They are also prioritizing those accounts on Instagram who are actively selling things. Like they want to be prioritizing e-commerce on the platform. And so where do we as real estate agents fall in, and what do we need to do? Well, I think that Instagram is still a great way to stay top of mind with our clients. It's still a great way to reach new audiences, and it's still a really great way to convert those who are thinking about working with us but haven't quite made the decision on whether or not we're the right fit for them. So here's what we need to do. Here's our game plan going into the next couple of months, as far as I can see. Number one, you've got to shake it up. So if you've been posting a lot of the same kinds of content or the same kinds of like formats of content, etc., you really need to start thinking about ways you can experiment either with Reels or with other kinds of video content like Reels. I know that Reels have been losing their reach recently, but I'm still not seeing a compelling reason why not to make a video-based format in your Instagram feed the primary kind of content. I was recently reading a really cool article about a gal who kind of went all in on Reels, and she changed her entire content strategy to be only Reels throughout the week as she posted. And it wasn't like she was posting 7 Reels a week or something crazy, but anytime she was posting 100% just video Reels. And I think that that is the level of change it up that we need to be seeing. So really getting creative and, having some fun experimenting with changing up how you have been showing up on Instagram over time. I know it feels like a drag. I know it's just one more thing to like learn how to do and get comfortable with and really start to hone in on. But I mean, what else could we lose at this point, right? Now, the second really important thing that we absolutely cannot lose sight of is engage. You need to have a metric goal of booking a certain number of appointments from your Instagram per month. For me, I know if I'm booking like 1 a week, I'm feeling good. I know that I'm going to be on track to hit my goals in terms of conversion from that as my lead source. And beyond that, I don't really pay attention to any other metrics. I know the number one factor that contributes to my ability to book appointments is engagements, right? So I'm talking about comments in the feed, responses to stories, reaching out to people through my database outreach, right? Like if I've closed a client from Instagram, I'm probably just going to keep Instagram as my primary way of communicating with them, that kind of thing. And really focusing on engaging way more than focusing on creating content. Because at this point, I'm posting maybe 2 times a week on average, but I'm engaging every single day. I'm having thoughtful conversations that lead to appointments. Now, if you're saying, well, Stephanie, I'm engaging a lot, but I'm not booking appointments. Are you asking for the appointment? like don't just expect people to be booking appointments on your calendar out of the blue or asking you for your time. They know you're busy. They know that you're working hard. They're afraid to ask you for time. They need to be given permission for that. And so when I'm engaging, a lot of times I'm saying, hey, let's hop on a call. Hey, let's grab coffee. Hey, we should probably have a consultation about what you're talking about because the questions that you're asking me are leading me to believe that you have something in your mind about the real estate process that we need to work out together. When are you free? So again, engage. And I would add to that, ask for the appointment, have courage and make it happen. Next, my suggestion is to go all in on something. I'm really looking at my Instagram account right now, and I'm wondering if it's time for me to go all in on like a specific niche or a specific kind of content or a specific style of campaign that I can really kind of push to the limits. And one thing that I've been having a lot of fun experimenting with is going all in on family content, like family-driven content. Now, the reason that's important to me is my ideal client overwhelmingly are seasoned professionals, young families, right? So these are people with really high paying jobs. They're making a lot of money and they have young kids at home. They are growing their families actively and looking for more space. That's why they're a second time move up client more often than not for me. And so they are really interested in the lifestyle that is going to best suit their needs. They want to be near things to do with their kids. They want to be near really great things to do. They want to be near good dining that has great kid options. And so I've been thinking a lot about what that looks like for me in my life, because that is very much in alignment with where I am. So a lot of my content decisions lately have been creating original content around us trying to find really cool things to do with our 2-year-old. And so if you look at my feed recently, you're going to see a lot of kids stuff. And that's actually by design, because it is directly related to what my ideal clients are consuming on social media. And so that would be my suggestion for you. Really kind of think outside the box here. What can you go all in on and just make a core part of your brand strategy on Instagram? It's going to open you up to new audiences. It's going to allow you to grow. It's going to allow you to have a little bit of fun and try something new. And I think that it's that level of, again, if we go back to step number 1, shake it up, it's that level of experimentation and creativity that's really going to help us to continue to expand our reach and grow our audience. And finally, you've got to keep it real, personal. And now when I say you've got to keep it real, I'm not saying you have to share like the private stuff, or you don't have to let people into every aspect of your life. But I was recently working with an incredible real estate agent duo in the Market Authority Academy. And they have built such a beautiful Instagram presence, beautifully curated posts that were so on brand, really high quality stuff. And I was like, wow, this looks great. But as we're looking at the metrics, the posts that did well for them were the unpolished, off-the-cuff, relatable content that like showcased who they are to their core. And the reason for this is most of their audience who was following this Instagram account knew them personally. And so I think that what was happening was when these agents were posting super polished, like kind of almost a little bit more sales-driven content, those who knew them could hear that almost that corporate salesy, like not that they were being overly salesy at all, but they could feel that polished professional speak. And that is a tone of voice that can be kryptonite for anybody's real estate brand on social media. You do want to keep it personal, because remember that the people who really matter on your Instagram probably know you personally. And so you got to keep it real. You got to have your face in those posts. You got to show them kind of like what you're doing behind the scenes a little bit. So for me, how this looks, my face is in almost every single post on my feed. You will see a lot of kind of just like real life moments with me and my son in our Instagram stories. And I'm going to share the less polished moments in my life on the feed and off the feed. So for example, for me personally, I've had a really challenging last couple of months. I mean, I'm sure you can tell here with my professionally polished YouTube presence. But behind the scenes, there's been a lot going on. It's been a lot of chaos. I've just in kind of a weird season, a good season, but a challenging season in life. And I've had a lot of moments that were not so pretty, and I'm sharing a lot of that on Instagram. And a lot of times I'm using that to laugh at myself. I'm using it as a moment of, brevity. But the important thing is I'm always keeping it real and showing people those insights. I'm also keeping it real in the way that I'm talking about the market. Now, I've spoken a lot in the last couple of weeks about how important it is to level with our people during the market shift that we're experiencing. I'm keeping it real with my people when I'm talking about the real estate market and sharing data. I'm not being a total downer, but I am saying like, look, if you're in this camp of people, you're feeling real stressed right now. If you're in this camp of people, you're probably feeling very overwhelmed and frustrated with the market, right? I'm just like being super real. It's okay to have a personality. It's okay to have an opinion. It's okay to have a little bit of color to your life on social media. We don't have to be super polished and professional all the time. You can keep it a little bit raw. And I think that the more that we do that, the more that the people who really love us and follow us and know us are going to appreciate that. Beyond that, I think the only other things that we can really do is stay consistent and just keep posting, right? I think that it's always just going to be a testing game. So just keep tracking what's working and what's not, and stay creative, stay curious as you're going through it. Instagram for me is a place to have fun, honestly. It's not something that I overthink. It's not something I overanalyze. I'm never worried about perfection on Instagram because it don't exist anyway. And it doesn't sound as fun as, just being me anyways. So that would be my highest suggestion as we go forward in using Instagram as a part of our real estate business. Now, if you want further instruction here, I do have a lot of stories about how we've used social media to continue growing our real estate business in my free ebook that is actually linked below. It's the 12 rules to live by for the attraction-based real estate agents. If you haven't gotten your hands on that, definitely do. It's totally free. Just tell me where to send it and I will be delivering it to you instantly. I'm really proud of that ebook, but it really shares some of the most impactful lessons that I've learned after almost a decade in the business. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Till next time, keep on crushing it.